What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I know the other day I said this is probably going to be my last Joe Biden video. Well, you know what? I spoke a little bit too soon on that. I spoke just a little bit too soon because just so happens, man, we got some insane people. We got some very, very deluded people in the corporate press, y'all. Very, very deluded people. These people are trying to manipulate everything. They're outright insane. I believe that some of these people are just pure evil. Just outright evil, because why else would you manipulate reality to try to portray a narrative that is not real? It's absolutely not real. These people, they just... I don't know. I can't stand it. It's like their agenda. I don't know what their agenda exactly is, but I can say it does align quite closely with these global elitists, these WEF, these Davos lackeys that just want you to live in the pod and eat the freaking bugs. And you know what? You will own nothing and be happy about it. I'm sorry. Are you trying to force me into your globalist utopia? I'm sorry, I don't want that. But these people are insane. Enough of my globalist rantings here. Let's get into this story right quick. Y'all smash that like button for me if you don't mind. Check this out. Give Biden his due. He has been one of the best presidents of our lifetime. Can you believe this? I literally started laughing when I read that headline. I was like, holy hell. I can't believe the delusions of some of these people. Like, you would think, like they took acid or something, right? And they're just on some wild trip. But hang on. They never came down from that trip. And these people are writing op-eds for The Hill of all places. This is insane, y'all. Let's get into this. Nancy Pelosi joked before the November election that President Joe Biden will one day be on Mount Rushmore in the company of Presidents Roosevelt, Lincoln, Jefferson, and Washington. That's over the top. Yeah, you think? That's outright insane. But there's a lot of truth in Pelosi's tribute. No, there's not. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Here's a straightforward, honest scorecard on Biden's time in the Oval Office. So I can imagine you guys, my longtime viewers out there, y'all can imagine what is to come. Oh, hell, here we go. As you will see, he deserves to be celebrated as an effective president, one of the best of our lifetime. Yeah, he was. I will agree with that. Like the first part of that, he was very effective. He was highly effective at burning this country to the freaking ground. That's what he has done. He has destroyed this country. He has destroyed the economy. He's destroyed our southern border. He's destroyed our finances, our checkbook, if you will. He's destroyed our reputation on the world stage. He's destroyed our judiciary system. Like, leave it to a single individual to destroy a nation's entire judiciary system. It's not fully destroyed. There's remnants left that are still there. But he has outright gutted our judiciary system, y'all. Just gutted it. It's insane. First, let's start with the economy. His critics harp on the economy as his major failing. It is the reason they say the GOP triumphed in the 2024 election and will control the White House, Senate, and House of Representatives in a few weeks. No. See, that's the thing. No amount of just rhetoric, just talking to people, can change reality. This is what these people don't understand, and as to why their narrative breaks constantly. No amount of rhetoric, talking, railing, gnashing your teeth about how good Joe Biden's economy was will change reality that people are struggling to buy groceries. No amount of rhetoric can change those facts. But the critics are so wrong that history will judge them as dizzy on their own lies. Do you see? This is so deluded. The fact is that as Biden leaves office, the U.S. economy is the envy of the world. You know what? As Trump left office, the U.S. economy was the envy of the world. As Obama left office, the U.S. economy was the envy of the world. As Clinton left office, the economy was the envy of the world. As Bush left office, I know those were backwards. As Reagan left office, as Nixon, Carter, you name it. Since World War II, our economy has been the envy of the world. That is not a statement of accomplishment for Joe Biden by any means at all, period. Remember that when Biden came into office, the U.S. economy was in such a bad shape that a recession was widely forecast by Republicans and Democrats. I'm not even going to comment on that, to be honest with you, because that's just so far off the mark that, it's not even worth a response. 4 years later, no recession ever gripped the American economy, thanks to Biden. Today, American stocks account for 65% of global equities. The historical record tells us the U.S. financial holdings now dwarfs the combined totals of Japan, China, and the United Kingdom. Per capita GDP of the poorest U.S. state, Mississippi, is roughly equal to the United Kingdom. What is that as an accomplishment for Joe Biden? Does that speak to Joe Biden's ability to govern the United States? Do you really think that Joe Biden has that much control over the economy that he can actually take credit for the fact that the GDP of Mississippi is pretty much the same as the GDP of the United Kingdom? Of the per capita GDP, sorry. I think they're conflating things here. And the job market flourished under Biden. Unemployment hit record lows. There are historic gains in wage growth. No, there's not. See, this is insane. This is how they pad the numbers. They flounder the numbers. They take in everybody's income for a year and then base that upon hours worked and then look at the historical record on that. That doesn't tell you anything. Why? Because during COVID, we had the single greatest transfer of wealth up that we've ever had, at least since the Great Depression. So what does that say? I know this is anecdotal, and a lot of people say, oh, that's just anecdotal. Well, you know what? I can't stand that argument, by the way. Sure, it might be just anecdotal, but you know what? Those anecdotes go toward the statistics. So that is part of the statistics, but that's neither here nor there. But anecdotal. Okay, so I haven't had a pay raise 3.5 years. You know what my last pay raise was? 40 cents. Yeah. And everybody I talk to is in the same boat. So what they're basically doing is telling you with that statement is that what did Joe Biden do? He made the rich people even more rich. He did an anti-Robin Hood. He stole from the poor and gave it to the rich. That's what they're telling you. And that's the reason to praise Joe Biden? Come on, get out of here with that. Without a doubt, America remains the best place in the world to do business or hold a job, which also doesn't speak to President Biden. Thanks, President Biden. I can hear the naysayers raising a ruckus. What about inflation? You won't hear me say nothing about inflation, except that they did nothing to stop it, right? That inflation was going to come, regardless of who was in office. We were going to get inflation. But you know what you can do? You can try to slow it down. You can try to do everything you can to make sure it doesn't get up to 9, 10, 12%. But what did Joe Biden do? And the incompetent Biden administration, what did they do? Nothing. Nothing whatsoever until it got up to 9%. That was the average inflation, right? Some things, as we have learned in recent years, the inflation was much, much worse than that, right? Grocery prices, on average, are 30% higher than they were 4 years ago. Gas prices are 50 to 60% higher than they were 4 years ago. Right, there's a lot of things that are 200 and 300% higher. Lumber, as a matter of fact, is in a couple 100% higher than it was 4 years ago. That's insane. Good point. Biden did spur inflation by pumping money into the economy. But what was the alternative? The rescue measures kept the economy afloat and millions of people out of bankruptcy. Yeah, Trump did that, as a matter of fact. And then Joe Biden comes in, decides, hey, I'm going to do that again. Do you think we really needed another $2,000 stimulus check? No, we didn't. Maybe businesses, but I don't think everybody in the entire country needed that check. I didn't need it. Outright, absolutely. I didn't need the first one. Why? Because we were never really shut down. Our company literally closed for 2 days. That was it. We closed 2 days. We kept working. So I was always at work. I know a lot of people didn't. A lot of people, they stayed off from work for a very, very long time. Hey, look, I feel you on that. Those people needed that stimulus check. But you know what? We didn't need $2 trillion of deficit spending. We didn't need that. We didn't need that at all. Trump's economy was well on its way to recovery. And Joe Biden comes in, cranks up the spending, and drives inflation through the freaking roof. Right? There were several factors. We had a supply chain crisis that they did absolutely nothing about until it was too late. These people are insane, y'all. But what was the alternative? Yeah. Sorry. And to repeat, the recession never happened and inflation is coming down. You know what? I'm tired of him mentioning that. They changed the definition of recession, as a matter of fact. So technically, we were in a recession for several months, for a while. Several months. These people are just lying. They changed the definition of a few things, as a matter of fact, like the definition of gain-of-function research. They changed the definition of that, all to make sure that Dr. Fauci didn't lie to Congress. What? It just blows my mind, y'all. Y'all don't forget, the global elites love the United States, y'all. Number 2 on the scorecard is his winning record as commander-in-chief. Here we go, y'all. Winning record as commander-in-chief. What wars has Joe Biden won? How many wars has Joe Biden gotten us into? Here we go, y'all. Biden ended America's longest war, the war in Afghanistan. No, he didn't. That is a lie. Donald Trump ended that war. You are lying, my friend. Donald Trump signed all the treaties, all the agreements or whatever to end that war, and they were on their way out. Hey, Joe Biden just so happened to be commander-in-chief while that happened. And what did he do? What did he do? He took Donald Trump's plan, crumbled it up, threw it away. His generals, his advisors were saying, no, we can't do it this way. They testified to Congress that they were saying, no, we can't do this. We got to do it this way, Joe. And Joe said no. He wanted to push the date back. We were supposed to be out in April. He pushed it back, so we left on September 11th. Like, that's such a bonehead maneuver, right? On the anniversary of 9/11 that started that freaking war in the first place. Why would you want to leave on that date as some symbolic gesture? Of what? That we got slapped in the face? And then he allowed 13 service members to die. It's insane how these people manufacture reality and then try to place that on top of reality to try to make you believe it. That pisses me off like nothing else. He's calling this a win for Joe Biden. Abbygate. Did you forget about Abbygate? Did you forget about the dignified transfer? With Joe Biden over here checking his watch while the Gold Star family's over here pissed off because he's over here just nodding off, falling asleep, checking his watch. That was a scandal, as a matter of fact, that they love to ignore. My video, if you guys haven't seen my last video on Joe Biden I just done, go watch that. Because I went over just about everything I could think of off the top of my head. And there's a lot. I'm probably not going to remember everything on this one. But I would suggest go watch that video if you haven't watched it. Holy crap. I was actually able to think of a lot of things that Joe Biden screwed up. It's insane. Insane. Three previous presidents agreed it was an endless, mostly pointless use of the military. Biden stood tall and withdrew U.S. troops from Afghanistan. As Biden said in his 2021 speech announcing the withdrawal, no amount of military force would ever deliver a stable, united, and secure Afghanistan, known in history as the graveyard of empires. But hang on, what were they telling us at the time? Oh, the Afghanistan army they're fine. They're going to be great. Everything's fine over here. Don't look in Afghanistan. And what happened? Within days, the Taliban just ran over all these forces that we built up for 20 years. $7 trillion. $7 trillion down the freaking drain. Not to mention all the 60-something billion dollars in military equipment that we gave to the Taliban. We just gave that to them. And he's calling this a win for Joe Biden. Okay. Anyway, the withdrawal was undeniably tragic. 13 American military died. But how many lives were saved by getting Americans off that battlefield? Ask the British and the Russians, who lost thousands when they withdrew. Oh my God. How many lives were saved? Really? That's an unquantifiable number, by the way. So what is wrong with these people? This is insane, y'all. Wow. Also on the scorecard is Biden's remarkable leadership in fighting Russian aggression against Ukraine without putting U.S. troops in danger. That is yet to be seen yet. As a matter of fact, that remains undecided. These people, oh my God, fighting against Russian aggression. What exactly has Biden done to fight against Russian aggression? He didn't stop Russia from going into Ukraine, did he? That would be fighting against Russian aggression. Just sending weapons to Ukraine, that's not fighting against Russian aggression. That's just funding a foreign war. That's all that is. I lost my place, damn it. On an accident, because I'm so aggravated at these people. Holy hell. Biden built an international coalition to support Ukraine. He reinforced the principle that no country is free to grab territory from a neighbor. Biden's steadfast support for Ukraine also sent a clear message to China about U.S. commitments to defend Taiwan. No, it didn't. Biden also upheld America's long-standing alliance with Israel at great political cost, as Israel stirred global angst by exercising little restraint in going after the terrorist group Hamas. They're counting this as a win for the Biden administration. Notice all of these aren't wins for the Biden administration. Thank you, President Biden. Scorecard shows big domestic wins for Biden. Biden beat back an attempted insurrection by Donald Trump after the 2020 election. You see what I mean? About these people are living in an entirely different reality. Just an entirely different reality. Biden was a citizen at that time during January 6th. Trump was the president. What are these people? Who exactly did Biden beat back? I would love to know this. Because in my view on the scorecard, that gave Biden all the power he needed to go after his political opponents, because that's exactly what he did. I just made an entire video about January 6th, just went over the numbers. 1,000 peaceful protesters served prison time for peacefully protesting. And you want to call that a win for Joe Biden? These people are insane, y'all. Just outright insane. Modern America had no experience with the threat to democracy posed by the January 6th riot at the Capitol. Exactly what threat was that? Because, you know what? They love to say that all this was an insurrection. It was an insurrection. But they never call it a coup attempt, do they? Those are two different things. Those are two very different things. An insurrection is just people fighting with the government. That's all that is. People fight with cops all the time. Cops are part of the government. There's insurrections every single day, just about in every single city in the United States. There's an insurrection outright. They call that a threat to democracy. No, that is democracy in action, especially when those people that fight with cops go to jail. That was not a threat to democracy. There was no coup attempt at all. That would be a threat to democracy. These people, I swear. Whew, y'all. Biden steadily held to the principle of free and fair elections. What does that have to do? That's a win on the scorecard? He never stooped to lies about election fraud. He never threatened local election officials or retaliated against Trump. He never retaliated against Trump, did he? 94 felony charges by the federal government through a special counsel. Huh? He never retaliated against Trump? Are you kidding me? These people are insane. His presidency is a testament to the resilience of American democracy in the face of unprecedented challenges. Oh my God. Thank you, President Biden. The scorecard does show Biden committing errors. His decision to stay in the 2024 race until a disastrous debate performance was a big mistake born of ego and opened the door to Trump's return. Oh, so now he's blaming Joe Biden for this. Yeah, I do too. That was a stupid maneuver. But hang on, was it Joe Biden? Because you got a guy over here with dementia. He doesn't know he has dementia. He doesn't know that his cognitive abilities are pretty much gone. Really? I mean, you're really going to blame that on Joe Biden? He should have known he was cognitively declined, that he was completely aware of his mental faculties that have failed outright. He should have known that. Right? Well, you know what? You have to be cognitively not impaired to be able to figure these things out. No, it's the people around him, the mainstream news, everybody in his immediate orbit that were pushing Joe on, that were getting out there on national television saying,
does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. You know, I can't even keep up with it.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
I can testify because I've been working very closely with this president for the past 2 years. I've been knowing him for 30 years. And I'm telling you, this guy's tough. He's smart. He's on his game.
Joe Biden has vision. He has knowledge. He has a strategic thinker.
The president is focused. He's detail-oriented. He's always thinking about the big picture.
He is engaging. He is capable. He has an incredible record as president.
And I'm often with him on foreign trips. He's at the top of his game.
So he has a vision. He has knowledge. He has judgment. He has a strategic thinking.
I met with the president, 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he seemed fine to me.
I have complete confidence in the president. I have watched him expertly guide meetings of staff and cabinet members. I could not have more confidence in the president.
Those people, it's their fault and the mainstream news for actually buying it. Yes, he has reason to worry about the incoming president's talk about retaliation against political foes, but Biden looks hypocritical. Huh? Here's the final score. The scrappy kid from Scranton made America a better place? Really? I don't find America to be a better place at all. Not even freaking close. Still the best country in the world, though. And if you want to give that to Biden, he probably would. But Biden had no hand in that. I'm sorry. Biden is the worst president by a lot in the history of America. As a matter of fact, you could take the next 10 worst presidents and just add them up together, and they still would not be as bad as Joe Biden. Outright. I've covered story after story after story after story of just, illegal stuff that Joe Biden has done. He has broken so many laws. He's fought with, just go watch my video from, I think, yesterday. It goes into depth on that. I'm not going to rehash all that here. I'm running long. So y'all let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. This was one of the most diluted op-eds I think I've ever read, y'all. Just out there. Just so far out there. It has nothing to do with reality. It is completely and utterly divorced from reality. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got. I'm freezing my butt off out here. It's cold. I don't have a heater out here, so I'm freezing. I'm really cold. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.